Hello, little explorers and curious minds. Welcome to Sleepy Science and Stories, where we wind down, relax, and learn something amazing about the world around us. Today, we're exploring the magical world of the internet and Wi-Fi. You use them every day to play games, watch videos, or maybe even do homework. But have you ever wondered how they work? Let's take a journey into the internet to learn how it connects us with people everywhere and how Wi-Fi helps us get online without any wires. Get cozy, close your eyes, and let's dive into the invisible world of connections. What is the internet? The internet is like a giant network that connects computers all around the world. Think of it as a huge web of information where you can find almost anything, from pictures of cats to the latest news. This network allows us to send messages, watch videos, play games, and learn new things. Just imagine it as a super high of information that travels through cables, wires, and even through the air. When you search for something on the internet, like how to draw a dragon, your device sends a message to computers that store all kind of information. These computers are called servers. They find the answer, send it back to you, and voila! You see a tutorial on your screen. The history of the internet, from big computers to small devices. The internet didn't start as something you could hold in your hand. Back in the 1960s, computers were as big as entire rooms, and only a few people used them. But people realized that it would be great if these big computers could talk to each other. Scientists and engineers created a small network called ARPANET, which connected a few computers together to share information. Over time, computers got smaller and better, and more people wanted to use this network. In the 1980s, the internet as we know it started to take shape. By the 1990s, it became popular and more homes started connecting. And then, in the 2000s, Wi-Fi became common, allowing us to connect without any wires. Now we have smartphones, tablets, and laptops, all thanks to the incredible evolution of the internet. How does data travel through the internet? Imagine you want to send a picture to a friend, but how does that picture travels across the internet? When you send it, the picture gets broken up into tiny pieces called data packets. These packets zoom across the internet through cables, wires, and even satellites. Here is where it gets fun. The packets don't all travel the same way. Some go through cables on the ground, while others might even travel under the ocean in special cables that connect continents. When the packets reach your friend's device, they come back together to form the picture. All of this happens in seconds, and the internet does this millions of times every day. The role of satellites in the internet. Did you know that satellites also help send internet signals? Satellites are devices that orbit the Earth high up in space. Some internet providers use satellites to send signals to places that are hard to reach with cables. So, if you live on a remote island or a tall mountain, you can still get internet access thanks to satellites. Satellites help people all over the world stay connected, even in places where running cables would be almost impossible. And they are especially useful for scientists, explorers, and astronauts who need to stay in touch from faraway places. Internet safety and privacy tips. We use the internet for so many things: games, learning, messaging, and more, but it's important to stay safe. Here are some helpful internet safety tips. Number 1. Before you download anything or enter personal details, check with an adult to make sure it's safe. Number 2. Create strong password. Make sure your passwords have a mix of letters, numbers, and symbols to keep your account safe. Next one. Be careful what you share. Once something is shared online, it's hard to remove it. Be careful about sharing personal details, photo, or anything private. Number 4. Avoid suspicious links. Some links might lead to unsafe websites. If a link seems strange or is from someone you don't know, it's best not to click on it. Amazing uses of the internet. The internet isn't just for games or videos. It helps with so many things in our daily lives. Here are some ways the internet helps us. Learning and research. You can use the internet to find information for school projects or learn new skills like drawing or coding. Communication. The internet lets us send messages to family and friends, even if they're on the other side of the world. Shopping. Many people shop for clothes, toys, and even groceries online. Entertainment. Whether it's watching movies, playing games, or listening to music, the internet brings all kinds of entertainment to us. Experiment. Create your own mini internet network. Want to see how a network works? Here is a simple experiment you can try at home with your family. Step 1. Grab a few walkie-talkies or even just 2 phones connected by Bluetooth. Step 2. Set up each device in different rooms of your house. Step 3. Try sending messages back and forth with a family member or friend. Now you're creating a mini network. This shows how networks work by connecting different devices, just like the internet does with computers all over the world. What is Wi-Fi? Now let's talk about Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is what lets you connect to the internet without any wires. Imagine a radio station. It sends out radio signals, and when you tune it, you hear music. Wi-Fi works in a similar way, sending information back and forth using invisible signals. Your device tunes into these signals, letting you see the internet anywhere in your house. Wi-Fi is possible thanks to something called a router. The router is a little box that connects to the internet with a cable. It then sends out signals that your device can pick up. When you're using Wi-Fi, your device and the router are talking to each other super fast, sending bits of information back and forth. The science behind Wi-Fi and how it travels. Now let's look closer at how Wi-Fi works. Have you ever noticed that you can get Wi-Fi on your phone, tablet, or computer without any wires connecting to it? That's because Wi-Fi uses radio waves, which travel through the air, invisible to our eyes. Wi-Fi waves are like the waves that carry sound to our radios, but they carry information instead. A Wi-Fi router, which is the box you might see at home, sends out these waves. When you watch a video or play a game, your device and the router send waves back and forth, carrying information super quickly. Wi-Fi waves can pass through walls, which is why you can use the internet in different rooms of your house, but they get weaker as they travel, which is why sometimes the internet is slower if you're far from the router. Fun fact: why is it called Wi-Fi? Did you know that Wi-Fi doesn't actually stand for anything? It's just a name that sounds like hi-fi, which was a term people used for high-quality music systems. The people who created Wi-Fi wanted it to sound catchy, so they came up with Wi-Fi as a fun name for wireless internet. Fun facts about Wi-Fi and the internet. Here are a few fun facts that might surprise you. The internet is really big. There are about 5 billion people using the internet around the world. Number 2. Underwater cables. Did you know the internet travels across the world through cables under the ocean? These cables carry data across continents. Number 3. Wi-Fi in space. Astronauts on the International Space Station use Wi-Fi to stay connected with Earth. Number 4. First website. The very first website was created in 1991 and it's still online today. It only had text and was created to explain how the internet worked. Number 5. The fastest internet in the world. Right now, the country with the fastest internet is South Korea, followed by Singapore and Japan. Number 6. Number of websites. There are about 2 billion websites on the internet. That's like having a library with billions of books. 7. Wi-Fi in nature. Some national parks and remote areas are now adding Wi-Fi so people can enjoy nature while still staying connected. 8. Internet for robots. Did you know that some robots use the internet to learn? They use Wi-Fi to get information from the internet, helping them become even smarter. And that wraps up our journey into the amazing world of the internet and Wi-Fi. We learned how the internet connects people all over the world, how Wi-Fi works without wires, and even explored some safety tips for staying safe online. Next time you're watching a video or chatting with a friend, remember all the technology that makes it possible. And who knows, maybe one day you'll help invent something new for the internet. Thanks for joining us on Sleepy Science and Stories. Sweet dreams, and see you next time for another magical adventure.